Hey everybody, it's your G, CDTV from SCOTLAND, and today we're going to be discussing AutoTune. Unsubscribe from me if I ever say that thing I said at the start again, please. Now, what exactly are we talking about? Well, you've read the title, so you already know. We're going to be discussing whether AutoTune is actually ruining hip-hop music nowadays. Now, the main theme of the argument I'm going to build up here is stylistically versus using it as a crutch. But first, we should take a look at where it started. So, first off, let's take a look at the origins of AutoTune in hip-hop music. Now, to say we're talking about AutoTune as a whole here is kind of a lie, because that's not exactly what we're doing. AutoTune has been used in music a lot, and a lot of the time it's very subtle and you don't notice it, and it's just used usually for minor pitch correction. What we're talking about here is that very overt style of using AutoTune in your music, where it's very obvious that the rapper in question is using AutoTune. Now, if you want to see where this style really originated in music, look no further than T-Pain. It's not a stretch to say he was one of the biggest influences in popularizing the in-your-face AutoTune sound that is now so prevalent in hip-hop. Since his debut album in 2005, AutoTune has been incredibly present in his voice.
She got me doing the dishes, anything she want for some kisses. I'm cooking for her when she gets hungry. All she doing is acting like she want me.
Soon the technique became utilized by many huge rappers. Lil Wayne, of course, utilized pitch correction on his massive single Lollipop, and Kanye West also made use of this sound on his album 808s and Heartbreaks. Since then, the popularity of AutoTune has exploded, and it's a sound that is incredibly common nowadays, and increasingly so. So, with that serving as a very brief, very quick summary of how it blew up, let's talk about how people use it.
This is anti-AutoTune, death for the ringtone. This ain't for iTunes.
So like I said at the start, the big debate here starts with whether people use it as a stylistic choice to enhance their music, or whether they use it as a crutch, as something to hide the flaws in their vocals or hide the fact that they can't sing. So let's look at examples of people who may fit into these categories. So yet again, a big example here is our main man in the last segment, T-Pain. Now, where does he fall? Well, I think it's true to say he uses it as a stylistic choice. I'm sure you've seen many clips online of T-Pain actually being able to sing without any effects on his voice.
Let's get drunk and forget what we did. I'm buying you a train. Then I'ma take you home with me. Money in the bank.
He really only used AutoTune to make his music have a unique sound, which is pretty ironic when you think about it. He definitely falls in the stylistic category. Another person who falls under there is Travis Scott. He uses pitch correction and vocal effects in such a creative way, and in my opinion, the way he does it creates a whole atmosphere around his music, and it actually adds something to it as a whole. This, of course, sets him apart from other people making this same type of music.
She got the waves, just thumbing through my brains.
Eat them, belly, I just eat them. DJ love, now the needed is a must.
I could touch on many artists who use it as a style thing. There's also Kanye West and many others, but now it's time to talk about the people who use it as a crutch. Now, this is where things, I imagine, can get quite controversial, because this is just my honest opinion right here. And, you know, I might say some stuff here you don't disagree with, and that's fine. So, using AutoTune as a crutch means you're basically using it to make your voice sound enhanced because you don't like the way it sounds normally. Like, using it as a crutch literally means it's the only thing to help keep your vocals up, you know. You're using it to mask your vocals. Now, one person I personally think uses it as a crutch is Trippie Redd. Now, if you like his music and the way his voice sounds, that's perfectly fine, but I'm of the opinion that he's really not that great of a singer. However, he clearly wants to make songs that are more melodic, so I imagine he sees AutoTune as a way to make this happen. The AutoTune, again, in my opinion, I have to stress that a lot, I guess, doesn't really add more of a unique or emotional sound to his music. It's literally just there. He's not the worst offender by a long shot, just one that I thought of off the top of my head. I'm sure if you don't agree agree with that, there's someone else you can think of off the top of your head who uses AutoTune inappropriately. As for a few more examples, Wiz Khalifa is someone who has also used AutoTune on quite a few songs for seemingly no other reason than it was the popular sound, and I actually think his music is quite a bit better without it. Migos could potentially be another example here. I actually thoroughly enjoy their music, but I often question if their increasing fondness for AutoTune is a good thing. For an additional key player, I think Lil Uzi is also quite big in this category, but you get the point here. As time has continued, more and more people are using AutoTune just because they can and not because they should. So finally here, we're gonna bring it to a close by asking, is people using AutoTune as a crutch actually a bad thing?
Posted in the trenches, got us one flexing. Feeling what I'm ripping, we many killed it. Met us in a building, by the British.
And this is gonna be where I fully bring my personal opinion into the matter. And honestly, personally, I think it is a bad thing. And the main reason why I think it's a bad thing is I feel like it's almost diluted hip-hop in a way. Because anybody now, almost anyone, could rap. It doesn't matter how good quality their vocals are, how good the mic is that they're using. Those things obviously play into it. That'll always play into it no matter how you mix and master your vocals. But almost anybody could maybe rent some studio time, go in there, and no matter how untalented they are vocally, lyrically, flow-wise, they can make a song, throw some AutoTune on it, and that song has potential to blow up because the AutoTune inherently makes it catchy. It adds another melody to the music that you didn't originally put there. And then all of a sudden, hip-hop becomes watered down because it's just suddenly full of people who who aren't that versatile and can't do anything without AutoTune. And it really kind of drags hip-hop down as a whole, I think. I mean, it's got to the stage where Matt Ox, a literal 12-year-old, has been able to obtain millions of views and followers just because his stuff is slathered in AutoTune. I doubt it would sound very good without it, no offense. You know, to put it as an analogy, it's almost like purchasing items in a pay-to-win game. You see other people doing it and they're succeeding, so instead of working on yourself and trying to improve the natural way, you'd just rather use the quick shortcut to get to where they are in no time. And that's kind of what AutoTune is. I'm really trying to think if that's a flawed analogy. Maybe it is. Maybe I didn't think that one through enough, but I think it makes sense. I am 100% fine with AutoTune being used artistically or stylistically. And if it's used creatively enough, it can really add to the music you make. Like that, all the people I mentioned before. There's some people that can actually add to their music through AutoTune. But overall, I think it is becoming more of a problem and more people are using it as a crutch. And it means we're gonna have some people who genuinely aren't that talented being able to blow up through AutoTune. And I don't know if that's too much of a good thing. But this is where I pass it over to you guys, so please let me know in the comments what you think. Obviously, this video is asking a question, so I'd really be open to having a discussion with you in the comments about it. Well guys, that's going to be it for the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a like. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, I'd really appreciate you subscribing, as we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. I'm definitely looking to do a lot more videos like this on my channel in the future. I explained it all on my Twitter, so if you want to see that, you can go follow me there on twitter.com. Why am I reading out the URL? You can follow me on there at CDTVProductions. You can also follow me on my Instagram under that same username, CDTVProductions. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. And this is CDTV Productions, signing out.